Hello and
Hi.
welcome back
I'm trying to get comfortable
to Spooktober
with basically adulting.
Ooh.
We've got some fun conspiracy theories to talk about today, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I'm excited. I love a good conspiracy theory. My mom and I were actually talking about one last night. And because I don't even really think it's a conspiracy theory, I just think that it just doesn't happen. So my mom is an avid recycler.
Oh, okay.
And
I know where you're going with this.
Like she, everyone gets the blue and green bins. The green is for recycling, blue is for trash, or whatever it is. And so she got me something from Amazon, and she was like, do you want me to unbox it for you? I was like, no, why would you do that? She's like, well, I want to recycle the box, and I know that you don't believe in recycling. And I'm like, it's, first of all, not that I don't believe in recycling, because I do believe in it. I just don't think that it gets done.
Right.
I think, and actually it's been proven that a lot of the recycling and the trash just get mixed together, and they all go to one little dump. And she's like, well, I'm just going to take it out of the box and I'm going to recycle it because I pay for that recycling bin. I was like, okay, well, we can agree to disagree then. So
I'm actually Googling it right now.
Well,
Because
of course.
your theory makes sense. And you want to know why? Because the city is the ones that are the ones that tell you here's your trash bin, here's your recycling bin. And I say this because at my mom's house we have the same thing, our blue bin and our green bin. And the green bin even has a label on top of what is recyclable and what isn't recyclable. And I've noticed that sure, the trash and the recycled gets picked up at different times. It's the same.
Well, and she was like, but there are two different trucks that come by. I was like, that's fine.
But they look the same.
But they go to the same place and they drop it off at the same place.
I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. If the recycling truck looked different, if it wasn't just a regular trash truck, I'd be like, okay, yeah, they do recycle. But because they look so similar.
But where do they go? There's not
where we're from, there's that mound in Louisville.
Yeah.
Where the off of 35 across from Vista Ridge Mall, that mountain is just trash.
Yeah, but where's the recycle mountain?
That's probably it.
I know, it's recycled. The recycling is in the trash.
Yeah.
But there's no trash mountain and recycle mountain.
Well, because Aaron, there would be no such thing as a recycle mountain because it would be recycled.
But where's the plant?
I agree with you. Where is it going? In Toy Story. Toy Story 3, when they're in the trash bin and they're picking up.
I need someone to tell me if this is true or not.
Someone from the city call us.
Yeah.
Because if it were a private company, I feel I'd believe more a private company that's we want a greener planet or whatever, than the city who's oh yeah, don't worry, we'll pick up your recycling.
Yeah, they just want your money that you're paying for the recycling bin. I'm sure that's a monthly.
I think you only pay once.
I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
I don't if you've lived in your house for 25 years, you only pay one recycling. There's no way. I bet it's in your taxes somehow.
Oh, probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
If somebody knows, can you just give us the secret?
Yeah.
But that's something that we were talking about last night. She's like, you just don't believe in recycling. I was like, that's not the case.
Because I believe in recycling, you just don't believe the actual act of it is happening.
Yeah.
Once it's been picked up from your place.
There have been multiple trash bins that are oh, recycle here, trash here, blah blah here, and you open it up and it all goes into the same bin. They just want you to think that you're recycling.
Yeah. Kind of at our old apartment. There was, the trash room. And, everything else that was recycled was just kind of left aside from the chute.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the guys
put it down the chute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah.
So that's my little conspiracy.
I agree.
Thing.
I mean, I think it depends on like the city.
I agree. I think that, I mean, obviously it depends on space too. Like, I think, I don't know.
I'll ask, you know what, the recycle guys come by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll ask them and be like, where does this go?
Yeah, can I ride on the truck? Ask them if you could do a ride along. Be like, can I do a ride along and see where you guys take my recycling?
Yeah. Like, what's the address?
I'm doing a project.
Yeah, it's for my college course.
Yeah.
They don't need to know.
I'm working for the...
I'm going undercover.
Yeah. You should, and come back to us next week and let us know.
Guys, you won't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, before we dive deep into these conspiracies.
Yeah, that was just a little...
just a little teaser.
A tease. That was a taste. Taste and tease combined.
What have you been up to? I haven't seen you in
I know, it's been a while. 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow, 2 weeks.
I've been busy. I feel like I've just been traveling and gone for a while. But I went to the Taylor's wedding in Austin last week. So that was a lot of fun. We got an Airbnb down there. Mm-hmm. It was actually in Jonestown, like over... like east of Round Rock by Lake Travis area, so it was gorgeous backdrop. Yeah. And then that weekend, Friday to Sunday, Megan was having her family weekend there, so I just moseyed on down there and met my dad there, and then went to the football game, which was kind of a boring game until like the third quarter. And so we sat in the student section. Because Megan's a student, and she was like, just sneak down there with me. But we sat in the student section, and it sits behind the opposing team to rattle them or whatever. Yeah. And one of the other teammates threw something, like, I don't even really know why, but they were like talking, the students were talking like mad shit, like things that you would never want your mom to ever hear.
To the opposing team.
Like, I don't even want to repeat it because I was like, oh my gosh, like, did that just, like, that's kind of mean. Like, let's calm down a little bit.
Like your mama stuff?
Like,
just
yeah.
Like, censor it a bit.
I can't even think it was so, like, vulgar and, like, just gross. And I was like, oh, wow. But it's, it's just, like, not teenage boys, but, like, 20-something boys And they're just trying to. Children. Yeah. I forget that I'm 10 years older than them. So they were just, like, saying shit. And, like, it obviously got under this guy's skin. Because I don't know if they're, like, he got in trouble or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he ended up throwing something into the stands and broke one of the students' nose. And all of the students started throwing stuff onto the field. And no one, like, I didn't see the guy throw whatever he threw. Yeah. But I just saw everyone starting throwing their, like, drinks and everything, like, onto the field. And I was like, oh my God, like, not classy. No. And there was, like, these two girls that were in the front, and they were just, like, flicking off the players. And I'm like, that is not cute. Anyways, that's just me being an old tard.
Yeah. I remember, like, in high school, when we'd go to volleyball games, there would be, like, chants between us and, like, the opposing, especially when it was like our rival. Yeah. And I do remember, like, some of the stuff that we used to chant, like, in high school. I was like, not okay. Like, we would get reprimanded the next day during, like, morning announcements. Yeah. That is not who we are. We are better than that. Like, okay.
Why do they always talk like that? That is not who we are.
We know you guys can do better than that. It's like, we're literally children. Yeah, we don't know better.
This is the best we are at right now. Sorry. But so after that, and they had literally just got an interception. Like, they were ahead. There was no reason for that guy to throw anything other than, like, just being rattled. Yeah. And so.
Who were they playing?
They were playing Louisiana Monroe.
Okay.
So, just a regular, normal baby school. Yeah. So they actually had police come out and come get him, like, after that happened.
Yikes.
And take him in. And then the president or whoever came on the screen is like, that's not who we are. Please refrain from throwing things on the field. But after that, they came back, and it was like the fourth quarter was really like just fun. And they ended up coming, like, Texas State ended up coming back and like scoring. And it was a nail biter until the very end. Like, the end score was 21-20.
Oh, wow.
So it was a fun fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But the third quarter, I leaned over to my dad and I was like, I'm tired. Like, I'm about ready to go to bed. And then it got exciting and everyone was screaming and jumping around and stuff. So
that's fun.
And then Sunday was a long ride home.
I bet.
Just because I was by myself, and I actually had to stop and like take a 20-minute nap just because I was like,
oh, so tired.
Yeah,
that drive back is always,
it's
always longer than I feel like the drive
than going
down.
there.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know. But what about you? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Nothing.
You literally just told me something so exciting.
I know, but I don't want to say it on the pod. I mean, I guess I can kind of say it. Yes, it is official. I don't know who follows me from there. I had to create a whole TikTok. I had to create a whole other TikTok page to get away from these people.
You can just say the one thing that happened.
Okay,
and we don't have to go into detail about it, like how it happened.
Okay.
You don't have to
the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, you don't have to like throw people under the bus.
True. Which I'm always
unless you
ready.
Want to.
No.
Because that is kind of juicy.
I don't need it out there.
Yeah.
But
just say the exciting thing.
Yeah, I did get a little bit of like a kind of like a promotion, or like the loss of like extra jobs and moving on up to more exciting stuff in the investment banking world.
Yeah, and you get to work from home for 2 days.
And I do get to work. I did get to finagle work from home for 2 days.
That's huge.
That's really exciting for me.
Yeah, because your drive is like an hour
it literally,
already.
It was, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I know.
So
I've done it before.
That's exciting for me. And
anything bad? We didn't really talk about anything bad.
Anything bad? No.
No.
I did watch The Summer I Turned Pretty season 2, and
is that on Hulu?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
It's a very cringy show. Let me just say, it's very cringy.
Like bad acting or what?
It's like, you remember Pretty Little Liars? Mm-hmm. Kind of like that. But
okay. I like Pretty Little Liars.
It's based on a book.
Okay.
That a trilogy.
Okay.
That I read back in middle school. And the gist of it is, it's The Summer I Turned Pretty is about this young girl who every summer they go to her mom's best friend's beach house. Mm-hmm. And her mom's best friend has 2 sons. And she's always had a crush on the older boy. And so, like, this summer she's, like, 15. And, like, the 2 boys are like, oh, my gosh, you're, like, actually pretty. And you're not, like, a nerd anymore or, like, a little kid. So that's why it's called The Summer I Turned Pretty. But, like, it's very, like, her, like, you know, what it's like to be 15 mm-hmm. and being noticed by boys. And
it's a dangerous time.
Very dangerous time for some people. I just was locked away.
15 was a very not so great time for me. Yeah. I mean, I had fun, but I would really more should say for my mom, I guess. She would agree. She would agree with me.
Yeah.
You still have an attitude.
I do. True. Okay.
You never grow out of that.
Okay. Well, what can I do? But the gist of it is, it's sadly like the boy's mom, like, she's always had like an on and off battle with cancer. Mm-hmm. And they find out at the end of that summer that cancer's back. So season 2 picks up, and it's got very like flashbacks, present time, spoilers for anyone that has not read the book and has not watched season 2. The mother does pass away, and it's very upsetting. And, you know, she's like fighting between Team Conrad, Team Jeremiah. I am Team Conrad because I think Jeremiah is a little bitch. But
I need to watch it.
I was sobbing. Like, I have a video of me on Snapchat because also they play these Taylor Swift songs that I'm like, really? Like, just salt to the wound.
I think that's what my mom was saying. Oh, no. She was telling me about a different show, I think. Hold on. I'll tell you in a second. Keep going.
But, yeah, they'll play, like, these Taylor Swift songs. It's just, like, makes it, like, worse. Like, you're already tearing up, and then the song plays, and you're like, well, you got me.
Well, so my mom, we're in the fantasy football league. Mm-hmm. And one of the guys, one of my cousins, has Travis Kelce on his team. And so he changed his team to look who you made me pick, or something like that. Yeah. Look who you made me pick. Mm-hmm. And my mom was like, he changed his name, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, because he has Travis Kelce, and now Travis Kelce is dating Taylor Swift. And she was like, well, if you have to explain the name, it's not really that funny. And I was like, it's not about that, Mom. Like, she sings the song. Look what you made me do. And she's like, Taylor Swift sings that? She's like, I'm watching this show, and they play that.
Oh, yes, that's on. Is it that show? Yeah. And they play her version. Okay. So she's already, at this point, we think she's already re-recorded Reputation. Okay. So I'm assuming they reached out to her and asked for her version, so they're not using the stolen version, which is really nice of them.
Yeah, so that must be what she's...
Yeah, I've seen clips of it.
So the girl, she finds out, like, someone's cheating on somebody.
Her husband, okay. With, like, a friend. Yeah. I've seen the trailer for it. I have it on my list to watch because it looks...
It's on Peacock or Paramount?
Prime. Or
Paramount, I think, is what she said.
One of them. Mm-hmm. I think it might be Prime, though. I don't know. She probably doesn't. One of those P words.
One of the P's.
One of the P's. But, yeah, I've also gotten into football.
Good. It's about freaking time. I know. Now we can go watch Sunday football together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Totally. As long as the Chiefs are playing.
Literally. When we were at the football game on Saturday night, so when we were really close to the field because we were in the student section, and so I got a chance to take a video and show Angeline, like, okay, these orange markers are like that's the first down, and then that one in the middle, that's showing like where they are in the 10-yard line. And so I sent her a picture and I circled. I was like, this is what the yellow line would be on the TV. Yeah. And she was like, oh my God. She just started cracking up and she's like, good. So I was like, if you ever go to a game, just remember there's not going to be a yellow line. That's how you tell where the yellow line would be on the TV. So.
I mean, I know the basics. I just don't. Oh, follow. I don't follow. I am trying to get into rugby though.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Dallas has a rugby team.
Do they?
Yes, they do. Their stadium, you know where they play? The old Ranger Stadium. Mm-hmm.
Should we just show up at their practice?
Yes. Those men, those thighs.
Gorgeous.
The World Cup is happening right now, and I am watching it.
Well, why don't we go?
Well, because it's in France.
Oh, well, why don't we go?
Well, because also France is infested with bed bugs.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's fair. Well, we can watch this year on the TV.
Yeah, so I've been watching it.
Who's winning? Is U.S. winning?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
The top contenders, like New Zealand just played.
Well, whoever wins, we need to take a trip there and say, where do we sign up for the cheerleading team?
I don't think they have cheerleaders, but I do recommend ourselves. We should just become rugby girls. We become season holders, and they're like, those girls have come to every single game.
And we just become friends with them.
Exactly. And then, because these rugby players have to be, sure, some of them have to be from here, but I'm really shooting for some of them to be from Ireland, from New Zealand,
Yeah. Well, just like any other sport that we watch, basketball, a lot of them are from Europe. Germany or Europe or wherever.
Yeah, Slovakia or something. Yeah.
So, I think we could. I think we should add that into our schedules.
Oh,
just
100%.
Find out what the next season, because
They're the Dallas Jackals.
I'm assuming after the World Cup, the season's over.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I think they pick up midwinter, into spring, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, we'll look it up.
Yeah.
We'll let all you ladies out there who are interested.
Yeah.
We can just become the rugby girls. Girls. Said that weird. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
We just meet some rugby boys.
And let me tell you, rugby is 10 times hotter than football.
I agree.
Because those men are like banging on each other, no head protection, like someone lost their shorts in a game, and I'm like, wow, this is a game for me.
No pants. No pants allowed.
No pants allowed. So, yeah.
I'm in. Let's look up the schedule and we'll find out.
Yes, let's do it.
While we're on the topic of boys, before I went on my little 10-day excursion, it felt like I've been like not talking to this guy, but like we met that guy over at Lion and Crown.
Yeah.
And we had hung out a couple of times. And I don't know. I feel like when I am hanging out with somebody, I've said this before, like you just go there and you're like, picture, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dilute,
yeah. Really fast. And I feel like there were multiple things that I kind of was like, I'll let it slide, whatever.
Like yellow flags?
They were more orange.
Oh.
So they were more towards red, but I was like,
okay.
I've only hung out with him like one time. Like the first time we met, we were a little drunk, and then the second time like was great. Third time, well, first time alone was great.
Yeah.
Second time, like we honestly really didn't hang out that much. Like that's how that's how many orange flags there were.
Okay.
So I texted him on like Sunday or Monday before my trip. I was like, do you want to get Taco Tuesday on Tuesday? And he's like, well, I was planning on going to church. And I was like, okay. Like, it wouldn't hurt for me to go to church. I've kind of been I've kind of wanted to find like a young adult group. I haven't really tried that hard, but
we did that one time, and
we've talked about it.
We did go to a service once when we lived in Dallas. Do you remember?
Did we?
We did.
Oh. Well, anyway, so I was like, it's not
my cup of tea, though. But you continue your story.
I was like, it's not gonna hurt me to go.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's a little out of my comfort zone. This is what dating is about, apparently. Like,
putting yourself out there.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And like, he made it seem like this is what he does every Tuesday. So I'm like, okay.
Okay. So
I'll step into your whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, what time? He says 7:15. I look it up. It says it starts at 7 online. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to get there at like 6:45 because, one, I'm late all the time. So I'm like, I'm going to make sure that I'm not.
Yeah.
And the traffic was just terrible at that time anyway. So I ended up getting there at 7. And this is a new church. I've never been there before. And luckily, I've know the gist of things. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to follow the crowd. But he wasn't there yet. I texted him. He texted me at like 6:40. Hey, I just got done with the dentist. I'm like, okay, well, I'm on my way
to church.
Yeah. I'm like, let me know. I didn't know what that text, like if there was any underlying. I'm like, okay, well, he's probably just going to go straight to church. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to meet at 7:15, apparently. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm on my way there. Like, let me know when you park, when you get there, whatever, so we can meet. I had texted him again and like, hey, I parked. Like, where are you close?
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, walk in. Hey, I'm standing by the door. Like, let me know when you get here. Like, I'm just waiting here, whatever. 7:15 rolls around. Nothing. Don't hear from him. And then 7:25 comes around, and he calls me. And he's like, hey, I'm still at home. I had to run back home, take care of some work, and, like, go let my dogs out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, like, no big deal. He's like, I'll be there in 10. I was like, okay, cool. So I just go and, like, sit down in the waiting area because I can, like, watch it from the outside TV or whatever.
Yeah.
And this girl comes over and talks to me, and so I was like, oh, I'm just waiting for somebody, no big deal.
Yeah.
We start talking, and 8:25 comes around.
Shut up.
Yeah. And I'm like, I guess I should, or I guess it was like 8:15. I was like, I guess I should text him because, like, we were just talking, like, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And he had not texted me during that whole entire time. And so then I'm, like, texted him. I'm like, hey, like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm in the lobby. I'm watching it. He's like, I'm watching the service. And I'm like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm in the lobby watching the service. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I've been sitting here this entire time. Like,
yeah.
Whatever. So then he comes over. He finds us, I guess. He comes over. I introduced them to each other. And she's like, okay, well, I'll let you guys talk, whatever. He's like, well, this is really awkward. I was like, yeah, it is really awkward because I've been here since 7.
Yeah.
Like you told me to be. And he's like, well, I was just like super busy. I was like, you invited me here.
Yeah.
You invited me. I didn't just come here and say, hey, let's meet up.
Yeah.
And so I was like annoyed, like a lot actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just rude. It's like all you needed to do was just say, hey, sorry, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like we could have gone into this. We didn't even go into the service because we were just waiting for him. Anyways, so we're talking or whatever, and I'm like, I'm hungry. Like, do you want to go get food or whatever? And then, like, as we're walking to he's like, yeah, let's go, whatever. As we're walking to the car, I don't know. It's still really awkward. And he was like, I just feel like I can't really give you what you need right now. Like, I just keep disappointing you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so no food? And he's like, no, I don't think so tonight. I was like, cool. And just walked away. I was like, you just wasted my entire evening.
Seriously. In the house of our Lord, too.
Right. I was like, first of all, I thought that was, like, really big of me. Like, I was so nervous. Like,
yeah.
I was really overwhelmed. I was, like, I go to church with, like, my dad and stuff, and, like, that's fine. But I don't go to a small group, or it was not even a small group. It was just, like, a service for young adults, basically. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. Like, I could have gone in there by myself if I knew he was just not going to show up. Yeah. But I was like, I'm not going to go in there by myself if you're planning on coming and meeting me.
Yeah.
But you didn't even tell me that you were there, first of all, which I did request. I was like, text me when you park and get there and walk in and blah, 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 so I know where to look for you.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was just so busy. I was like, dude, you fucking asked me to come.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm done.
I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like the
wow.
major red flag that like the person was like waving like leave him alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gone.
Good.
But I was like, that's so fucking disappointing. But at the same time, like afterwards, I was like, I had to laugh. Like I was like, this shit. Like, I can't even make it up. Mm-hmm. It's how silly it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds silly.
Like, so weird. But from what came out of it, I made a new friend. So, like, me and that girl, she was nice. So, I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, damn.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So, yeah, dating sucks still. Just FYI.
I mean, yeah. Oh, okay. Wait. Before we move on to our conspiracy theories.
God.
And talking about dating a lot of stuff. I have to talk about what I did last Friday. Okay. I almost forgot. So last Friday, I went to Oktoberfest in South Lake, which I've been going there since high school, and I love it.
Yeah.
And so tried the food, grabbed some beer, and Fernanda actually came with me. It was her first time there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, like, let's walk around after we ate and had, I was on my second beer. And so we're walking, and I see, they usually have jewelry. They have dog stuff, different types of booths. Well, I come across this booth, and they're doing tarot, palm reading, and all chakra healing and all that stuff. And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It was very just out of the blue. So anyways, I approach, and they're having some little special, and I see there were 2 girls already sitting down, and then there were 2 women waiting, and I was like, I want to do this. I want to get in line. So I just kind of stood around waiting. Everybody seemed to be getting their tarot cards read, but it was like $35, and it was probably a good deal, but I was like, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling the tarot card, so I was like, I kind of just want my palm read. And so once it was finally my turn, I was like, okay. I approached the girl, and I was like, hi. I was like, I would like a palm reading. And she was like, oh, like, what's your name, like your birthday? And I don't know what special powers these people have. Yeah. And she was like, she's like, I don't think you're gonna get the answers you're looking for if I read your palm. She's like, I can do a 3-card tarot pull, and you can ask me a question, and just like based on whatever like the universe and the people above or whoever pull out, like, she's like, I can just answer your question. And I was like, okay. And so I put my Hinge on pause. I didn't delete it. And I've just been kind of like, I don't know. I've like last year when New Year's Eve came, I ate my grapes under the table. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, we got 2 months left of the year and there's no man. And so I was just like, oh, I'm just curious regarding like my love life within the next year. And so she like pulls the 3 cards, and she's says to me something that I've heard from somebody else that doesn't do tarot. And so it was kind of like comforting to hear it. But like she also said some extra stuff that I was like, yikes, like this is too, it was very accurate.
Or do we get to know what she said?
So she's, what?
Do we get to know what she said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I thought you were just going to give us, like, that's what she did.
And that's what it, that's,
see you guys later.
No, so she says that I'm right. Well, at first she asked me, like, if I was in a relationship. And I was like, nope, I am single. Single as a Pringle. And so then she, like, pulls the 3 cards, which I don't even remember what the 3 cards were. And so she starts, like, oh, okay. She's like, I see that, like, you've been doing some self-improvement, and, like, you're really, like, ready and like open to like step into love. And I was like shaking my head. I was like, because yes, I have been doing like a lot of self-improvement with therapy and just like myself. And so then she says, she's like, but she's like, you've been hurt in the past, so you're blocking it. And she's like, you have like a blockage. She's like, your soulmate or like this person, she's like, they're in your path. She's like, they're there, but you've been hurt and you're scared.
Like you've met them before?
No, like they're ready. You know how like people like believe in like invisible like string theory, that like you've probably been in the same vicinity. Yeah. You've never met them, you don't know, but you guys have probably been in the same.
Like you're connected somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she's like, they're there. She's like, and you will meet them, but you have to like
let your guard down.
Let your guard down. And I've been told this. I was literally just told this by someone else like a month or 2 ago. And she's like, she went into that. She's like, it's going to start off as a friendship. She's like, but she's like, you have to let your guard down. And then she was like, also, she's like, you feel like you're not worthy of love. And I was like, well, damn, I didn't expect all my feelings to be put out there. I don't know what my spirit guides are telling you. And she's like, but you are, like, you just have to think more positive and stuff. And so she gave me like this rose quartz that, so she didn't even charge me for a tarot reading. She just like gave me this rose quartz and was like, she gave it to me and she was like, hold it near your chest while I go find you a little bag. And I was like, okay. And so it's in the shape of a heart too. Oh. So I have it next to my nightstand. Yeah. I can either have it next to my nightstand or under my pillow, but it's just going to get lost somewhere. Yeah. So I have it next to my nightstand, and then I charged it during Saturday night after the solar eclipse. So, because it was like a very like powerful night. So, yeah, now I'm like open and
I'm ready
to let love in, as the girls from The Bachelor say.
Oh, God.
So, that was my exciting little thing. Yeah. So now I have to put myself out there and like.
Yeah, which I think is a big thing, and I feel like I've been in that same rut of like, I'm never gonna find love and blah blah blah. It's like, well, bitch, if you're not gonna put yourself out there, which is why I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'll go
make the effort
and go to this place where I'm uncomfortable, because it shows that I care. Mm-hmm. And it's like, nope, slap in the face. Like, okay.
Yeah, but see, like, that's the thing.
Sit
where
back
I'm
down.
Like, see, us as women, like, we're willing to, like, meet them halfway, but they're not even willing to meet us, like, the quarter of the way.
Well, it would have been totally, and I feel like I'm very understanding and logical.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
So if I would have been there, if I would have been waiting, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to make it tonight.
Yeah.
Like, shit just hit the fan at work, like, whatever. And just, like, communicated that to me, a simple text message. Or, like, even on the phone, when he called me at 7:25, when it's supposed to start at 7:15, but even when he called me at 7:25, he's like, I'm so sorry, I can't make it tonight. I would have been bummed, but I would have been like, I understand, like, yeah. Shit happens, you know? Yeah. But no, I didn't even get that. He literally told me he's going to be there in 10 minutes and then never, actually.
Never shows up.
He did show up and then never texted me that he even showed up. So I'm like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
No, it isn't.
It's really not that hard to communicate. Okay, let's talk about conspiracies instead of our love life. Those are more exciting anyways. More drama.
Do you want to open this for me?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. I was trying to figure it out with my finger. But, yeah, I really just hope that Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift really, like, makes men, like, take note. Like, oh, girls like their doors open for them. They like their hands held.
Yeah, we can hope and wish all we want, but, you know, the men today are just not.
You know what someone said the other day?
What?
Men used to hunt.
Yeah.
And now they can't even, like, put a fucking TV up sometimes.
I wish I wasn't doing the live right now, but I heard a TikTok, and we can share it on the podcast Instagram, but it was basically about this guy being like, why are people, like, in today's generations not dating? And it was like 89% of women say, and don't quote me on the the ratios or the percentages, but it was like around there. 89% of women say they want a guy to approach them. 55% of men say that they're afraid to approach women for the fact that they will come off as creepy or being, like, harassing women. And then he kind of goes down that little rabbit hole of, like, well, if men are not, like, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we as women want the men to take charge and do all this stuff, but then there's also, like, the men who are scared to do it because they don't want to come off as creepy. And I'm like, there are ways to do it without being creepy.
Exactly.
Like, don't stalk someone.
Yeah, and don't, like, the only way to not come off as, like, harassing is just be like, hey, like, just,
like, don't take offense
friendly,
to it.
Yeah.
Well, don't take offense to it if someone turns you down.
As well. It's
offensive, or it comes off as creepy when you get so butthurt because your feelings get crushed. And it's not even about, like, everyone has a person. You can't get a yes from every single person.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it hurts your pride a little bit when someone says no to you, but just take it and say, okay, like, thanks.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul. That's all it takes.
Simple as that.
And honestly, like, that is more attractive than someone throwing a fit and be like, well, fuck you, bitch. Like, that is creepy.
Yeah, that is creepy.
It's like, okay, well,
or to just, like, stand there and just, like, creepily, like, smile. Like, this has happened to us where, like, they just, like, stand there and they're just kind of, like, being kind of stalkerish, like, not interacting. And that gives weird vibes, scary vibes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we can go on and on about that, but in regards to, what were we talking about? Just date
men.
Oh, like, what we want. Like, just, I know that it's scary, but just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, what? The worst they're going to say is no? Like, sorry, no thank you or whatever. Like, okay, you didn't know them like 5 minutes before that, and your life was perfectly fine.
Exactly.
So
it's like a sales tactic. Like, we as a salesperson have to, like, you have to call 100 people to get one yes or whatever. Yeah. You can't let the no's affect you, and so just think of it that way.
Yeah, you lose, what's that Michael Jordan? You lose 100.
You lose 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right.
There's some dating advice for men right there. We don't really do that very often, but there you go.
To the 5% that listen to it.
To the 5%. There you go. They're probably married and their wives make them listen to it.
Probably. All right. Let's get into
conspiracies.
All right. This is a fun one that I did research on.
Love research.
And I have it split into like the 3 categories behind like the theory behind it, the actual history behind it, and then the actual facts.
Okay.
So,
I like this one because I've experienced it before.
Yeah, I've been there too. So.
Oh yeah, we have been there together before.
So I'm covering the Denver International Airport. And so.
Dun dun dun.
So scary. So.
It really is kind of scary.
Well, yeah, because one, they only have that one security checkpoint.
Yeah.
And that can be a headache.
Yeah, but just a little side note, I did get the clear.
Oh, yeah, the TSA or whatever.
The TSA clear. So now I don't have to stay in that bullshit.
Oh, nice.
So.
Even at the Denver airport?
Even at the Denver. They have a clear station.
Nice.
There. I know.
Nice. All right, well, now everybody's going to do that in Denver.
I know. Now the clear station is going to be just as packed.
Seriously. Okay, so there are like a couple different theories behind the Denver airport. One of them is that they actually house aliens. Another one is like the Illuminati or like the Freemasons hold meetings there. There's just a bunch of different theories.
Isn't it built on like an Indian reserve or like an Indian graveyard?
I've
heard that theory
I think
too.
so.
That's why it's so haunted.
It's so haunted. All right, let me just jump into, and all of this I got from, I believe my source was like history.com.
Well, it's so crazy because just
and
like
the Denver airport.
The design of the airport is
just so crazy. Well, they did that on purpose, by the way.
I'm sure
they feed into everybody's conspiracies.
I'm sure they do, because why else would you? Like, why else would you design it that way?
Yeah, because like you want more people to come visit, more foot traffic. Anyways, let's
really
get to it.
Stupid airport, if you ask me.
It really is. Okay, so the first theory is the Freemasons. A centuries-old secret society has controlled this airport ever since it opened, with ties to the New World, a group of global elites. Who...
What are the Freemasons?
So I actually looked into this a couple years ago because my great-grandfather was a Freemason. He was like the highest degree you could be. And so there are like Freemason cabinetries everywhere. Hold on, let me Google it real fast.
Okay.
So Freemasons are pretty much, they're a fraternal organization that it's
the fraternity.
It's theorized that like big, like I wouldn't even say like Elon Musk. I would say like these old wealthy families, like the Rothschilds or some of them, are part of this secret society, and they decide like, okay, like, you know, like the pandemic, we're going to have a pandemic in the next 10 years.
Okay.
Or like, you know, we're going to have the housing market crash, or like the theory is that these big global elite people like come together and
it's
they
like
meet.
Worldwide or just in America?
Worldwide.
Okay.
No, because you can Google like a masonry cabin, and they're literally all over the place. Literally. Like there's one in Dallas, and I was like, I'm going to join that one, but there's only
I'm going to join.
Let me just look. There's one. They're called lodges.
Oh yeah, there's one in White Rock.
Yeah.
There's one in Carrollton and
Look
Richardson.
how many there are.
Holy shit.
Yeah. There's so many. Louisville, the Colony.
What do you have to do to join?
Well, they have like different fraternities. The one in Dallas, it's like a big building. I think it's this one. Yeah, It's this one. This used to be by our old building. And I was like, I'm gonna join it. But this was exclusive to only men.
Okay.
Because they believe the whole like traditional like women in the kitchen, you know, submissive and all that bullshit.
Okay.
But they do have a chapter for women.
Okay, interesting.
So, anyways, that's one of
is that like a conspiracy theory in itself, or
that is a conspiracy theory in itself.
Okay, so we could go into that too, but we can maybe go later.
So one of the theories is they go to the Denver airport, which is the randomest place ever, but
can you, because it's literally, the Denver airport is in the middle of nowhere, so I'm sure there's a bunch of different tunnels and underground shit that nobody knows about.
Yeah. The second theory is hidden beneath the airport's underground baggage transport tunnels is a secret bunker designed to house billionaires and global political elite in the event of an apocalypse. And then it goes into this, it says, lizard people, aka reptoids, so those are like the evil, my mom's talked about these. Sadly, she knows how many of them are left.
Oh.
But the theory behind the lizard people, and there's like theories that like whatever Mrs. Rice during the Bush administration, there's theories and allegations that she's a lizard person.
Really?
But so the theory behind the lizard people, to give a little background history on them, is their planet ran out of water. And so our planet is just full of water. And so, like, the theory behind lizard people is
Where'd they come from?
I don't know.
Lizard land?
Probably, like, lizard planet. I don't know. So the lizard people, sorry. So the theory is that lizard people also lurk beneath the Denver airport. So...
Speaking about underneath, I saw this TikTok the other day about this underground, I don't know where it was. It was like a pothole had happened in like the cement or the sidewalk. No, it was
a pothole.
It was just like a little crack in the sidewalk, and these teenagers like looked in there, and there was a full underground area. So they snuggled on down there. Snuggled, whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah. And shimmied. There we go. Snuggled on down there. Shimmied on down there. And there was an entire bank down there. There was a theater down there. There was rooms. There was like all this stuff, and it had all been abandoned. I'll have to find it and send it to you.
That's so scary.
But I don't know where it was. It was like I felt like it was in a city or something. Like, yeah. But I've heard like Chicago has underground cities, like
it's like France.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But like there's an entire bank down there.
It's like there's like another theory that there's like a whole other world inside of the earth.
Oh, I'm sure.
Have you heard of that theory?
No.
And we could cover this another time, but you know how like if you look at a map of the US and you look at like all like it's like the national parks, people go missing and there's like the dots of like, oh, all these people missing. And then you were to compare it to like where these like hidden caves are, where they say that leads to the underground world, it's like a match.
Really?
Yeah, a 100% match. I've seen it like covered on like Joe Rogan and like a couple other people's.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so it's like, why can't we go past like I forget what it is, like down to Antarctica? Like, because that's another theory that like you could go into like the middle of the earth through Antarctica, but Antarctica is like so militarized that there's like I forget what it's called. There's like the 60th degree, or like I forget the 60th parallel you can't go past. And it's like, why can't we go past it? So that's another fun little theory.
I'm sure that there's a bunch of shit that goes on that we as a society don't know about.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So the history, let's go into the history. There's a dedication plaque at the airport's south entrance near the Westin Hotel, dated March 1994, and contains a time capsule and bears a symbol of the Freemasons, as well as reference to the New World Airport Commission. Quote unquote, strange markings have also been noted around the airport, supposedly indicating secret or alien languages.
But how do people know what alien language is?
Well, you don't. Like, it's probably like hieroglyphics in a sense.
Oh.
Well, you know how they say like alien languages is just like a language that they don't recognize. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Boop, boop, bop, bop.
This one.
I feel like that can be like a depiction of like, I don't know, like do we know all the language, the Earthling language? Like, there's so many languages here on Earth.
Well, it's like someone on TikTok was like, someone really woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna make a new language.
Yeah.
Like, why did we do that? Why did we do it to ourselves? Because like if you think of China in itself has like over 100 languages.
Yeah, but in like the Christian culture, like my dad was trying to explain this to me because I was like, well, yeah, you know, why are there so many languages? But God did that. Like, he wanted to separate for whatever reason, and he created the languages.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very...
You weren't part of that meeting, so you don't know.
Yeah. I am not equipped on that information.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Also, like, my mom likes to say that, like, her favorite alien conspiracy theory is that, like, we were actually an alien experiment, but we failed because we go to sleep and aliens don't.
Man.
And so, like, the theory, if you were to go into that theory, is that, like, they were, like, programmed, like, different languages into us. And that would also make sense on why we see so many, like, alien sightings.
I mean, you could always make anything make sense if you think about it enough.
True. Okay. Back to this.
But what is the truth?
Yeah, we'll never know.
Oh, my mom is watching. Hi,
Mom. Okay, contractors who originally... Again, this is the history now. Contractors who originally worked on the airport, which went over budget and opened 16 months behind schedule, reportedly saw evidence of bunker entrances and unexplained tunnels. A multi-million-dollar automated baggage system failed to work as designed, fueling doubts about the intent and scale of the construction. An alien drawing has appeared on the walls, and blurry footage of lizard people has appeared on conspiracy websites.
I mean, I will attest to the construction. I mean, obviously, that's probably when it was built. But they've, like, been doing construction on the airport for a very long time.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm pretty sure that they were doing construction when we went. Like, there were stuff up. Still there.
Oh, wow.
Or it's just in a different spot. I don't know. But, I don't know. Anyways.
Okay.
They're doing something there.
Yeah. I mean...
Maybe that's where they're transporting the aliens.
Could be.
The construction site.
Probably.
Down to their spaceships.
I don't know if they keep them they allow them back into their spaceships.
Oh, we would just keep them?
Yeah, like Independence Day style. Like,
in a little
liquid. Yeah. Okay. Now we move on to the facts.
Okay.
So while the Freemasons are a legitimate, fraternal, and historically cloistered organization, did I say that right? What's that? Cloistered?
Cloistered.
Right?
I don't think I've ever seen that word before.
I've never heard of that word.
Cloistered.
Okay.
Historically cloistered. That sounds like a made-up word.
It does. So while they're a legitimate, fraternal organization with civic ties to the airport's dedication, there is no evidence to suggest that they have a hand in ongoing planning or decision-making at the civilian facility. Anti-Masonic conspiracies that date back more than a century were clearly dusted off and updated in 2012's Apocalypse Fever. The time capsule is to be opened in 2094.
Are we going to be alive then?
Maybe. My brother will be 94.
2094. How old
so
will I be?
I will be 98.
I'll be 102. I'll be alive. I'm like, I have to stay alive for the airport.
Right.
For the airport.
Your nursing home.
Yeah.
The time capsule.
I better not be in a nursing home.
Or
you're going to be hanging out with me.
Yeah, we will. We'll have our own home.
Yeah. Our kids will just put us in a home together.
Yeah.
Who take care of us. Our kids better be rich.
You bet your ass they better be rich. Okay, so it's expected to open in 2094. Contains coins, assigned opening day ball from Coors Field, Mayor Wellington Webb sneakers, and a few Black Hawk casino tokens, among other items. The New World Airport Commission was named by Charles Ansbacher, an arts advocate who died in 2010. The name is a reference to Dvorak's New World Symphony. According to a 2007 Westworld article, the commission was created only to orchestrate Denver Airport's opening festivities. The strange markings are Navajo language characters and references to other airport artists. Interesting.
Yeah, what if it's just like a graffiti person?
Oh.
Is that a bug?
Yeah, what a dear eye.
I can't see. What if it's just like a graffiti person that's making up their own
language? Art? Yeah. It could be that. Art is whatever one interprets. So
exactly. So it could be just like a star over here, and then someone that's never seen a star before is like, alien markings.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
It is all how you interpret it.
Okay, so roughly 1,000 people work daily in the various levels underneath the airport, ferrying luggage among ticket counters, planes, and baggage claim areas in a pair of 7,000-foot-long tunnels that run alongside the airport's underground trains, which were not immediately ready to use upon the airport's opening. As seen during a tour of the tunnels provided by the Denver Post, all plumbing and electrical and infrastructure appears to end at the underground area's lowest level. Hiding anything else underneath it would be an engineering feat on par with the channel that connects. They're comparing it to the tunnel that connects England to France, the underground tunnel. So pretty much saying it's
I mean, I could definitely see that there would be an underground tunnel in the Denver airport.
For sure.
It's literally in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. It takes you 45 minutes just to get to the airport.
Yeah.
No traffic.
So this person that works for
you need to drink your wine.
The airport. Sorry, I've just been over here in conspiracy land.
I know.
The fact of the matter is, this is a quote from somebody that works at the airport.
Ooh.
Is it would take 3 days to show you everything down, in the tunnels. I just don't understand why there has to be different levels underneath the airport.
There's literally 3 levels just to get where you need to go. So you walk in from the ground in Denver. You have to go down to get through security.
But that's still all above ground.
But you enter the airport.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
There's no need for it to all, why are there so many levels?
Yeah.
You enter the airport, you have to go down to security.
Mm-hmm.
Then, once you get through security, you have to go back up to, no, you have to go down again to go on the tunnel to get to your gate. And then once you get to your gate, then you have to go back up 2 stories to get to your gate.
It's just a lot. It's like...
It's too much.
Yeah.
If you, like, yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I've done it so many times I could just do it with the back of my hand. But if I was a first timer flying, I would get lost, I think.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I would have to ask for help. Help me, I'm poor. And then be like, go away. Go away.
Start speaking lizard people.
Yeah. Star, square, star, circle, star. They're like, she's a lizard. Take her down to the tunnel.
She wants our water.
Circle, star. Oh, God.
Gosh.
I'm funny.
Oh, my God. That is funny. Okay. My second theory is something I just watched on YouTube, which everybody else can go if they're, like, interested in it. It's
about the Denver airport?
No.
Oh.
This is a completely different conspiracy theory.
Okay, I thought you were saying something else about this one. Okay.
And it's about, like...
So we're done with the airport.
We're done with the Denver airport.
Okay. So if you found out anything or know anything about it, let us know.
Yeah. Or if you've experienced anything weird
there,
let us know.
Yeah, I just hate it so much. I've missed a flight there, and I'm like, ugh. Oh. My mom, like, I was expecting my mom to say something about it, but she just got off and doesn't love us, so whatever.
So my second theory is on YouTube. It was just released on Sunday by this content creator, Shane Dawson, who he loves to cover conspiracy theories, and it's why I love him. And he is not afraid to get down to, like, the nitty-gritty, like, as far as legally he can. And so he has this theory that he tested pre-COVID. And his lawyer told them that the only way to prove it is if he had 5 people in 5 different states also be able to, like, help him prove this. So his theory is that makeup that gets returned at these high-end stores, like, you know, Sephora, for example, they tell you that they destroy it. They're supposed to destroy it, because if not, it would be a health hazard. And so the theory behind this is he's really close friends with this makeup artist, and he also creates his own makeup, is Jeffree Star. And he calls him to confirm because Jeffree Star knows everything of the makeup business. So he calls him to, like, does this happen? So Jeffree, because what this theory is that makeup gets returned and it doesn't get destroyed. It ends up at these discount stores. So Jeffree Star says, funnily enough, a couple years ago at his warehouse, because he creates all of his, he doesn't outsource any of it. He has it in-house and everything. A fridge broke in the warehouse, and a specific, like, teal shade lipstick, I think it was, its expiration date, like, came sooner, so they had to, like, get rid of them. So he's like, we hired this third-party company that's known for, like, I believe, getting rid of because you can't just, like, toss out makeup. I'm pretty sure there's, like, some kind of, like, chemical, I don't know how they do it, kind of like recycling. I don't know how it works. So,
does it even happen? I guess not.
They hired this third-party company to come pick up and get rid of it, destroy it. So I guess later on Twitter, he comes to find out that that lipstick shade was being sold at these discount stores. And he was like, what the fuck? That's not... And so come to find out, he contacts, like, the heads of these corporations, and they're like, well, like, we had this, like, third-party rep telling us that they were representing you to be able to sell. And he's like, no, like, you have to get rid of that stuff. It's like, expired. It's, like, it's gonna, like, give somebody, like, a bad reaction or something. And so, like, there is proof that, like, for him, it's happened. So it's like, it could happen anywhere else. So this YouTuber goes to a discount store, and, you know,
is this, like, name brand stuff or just...
Well, like, for example, like, you know how, like, I've never bought makeup at, like, TJ Maxx, for example. And this is all alleged, again, just to cover our butts. You know, I've never bought makeup there, but I've seen that sometimes they carry, like, Anastasia.
Like, it depends on, like, who, I mean, because...
It depends on the store.
I'm sure location. It's dependent on what's available, too. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen like MAC. I've seen.
I've definitely bought like some bronzer there before, but that's kind of about it. Like the ones that you would just like the powder bronzer.
Yeah.
But it's not like a name brand. It's like one of the $3 bronzers.
Yeah, like a knockoff. Yeah. So he goes in and he sends his husband's Fernanda's seen this conspiracy I'm talking about. He sends his husband's friend into the discount store, and he's like, just buy whatever you see, whatever. So she buys like a whole lot, and they go back to his house, and they're like, okay, we're gonna open these and see if like any of them look like they've been touched or anything. And so there's like a couple they open, they're like, oh, okay, like maybe we've been proven wrong.
Yeah.
And then they open like one, and it's like completely broken.
I mean, can they not open it at the store?
Well, you can tell because like the box was, well, no, because you can't film. He's gotten in trouble about it before. He can't film inside the store.
Well, I know, but like to buy something, I would never buy something that is broken. Like normally I would look.
Well, he's just doing it for the experiment purposes.
Got it. Okay.
He's not like you and I wouldn't. We'd be like, ew, gross.
Yeah.
Like, but he's doing it for the sake of the experiment.
Okay.
So
got it.
Then there's.
I was like I would never buy something that looks like it's broken and looks like it's been touched.
Well, duh. Well, that's the thing. Like you wouldn't know because like some of them like the packaging like looks fine, and then you like open it and like they were like flashing like a light, and like you could see like a fingerprint. And so what he did was he put gloves on because he was trying to be like clean about it, and he like went onto some of the pallets that they had and was just like rubbing not destroying it, but he was just like rubbing his finger all over it so it looks like it's been used. And he also did like a marking inside the box that so that they know that like when they return it and they go the next day, whether or not it's been put back on the shelf.
Okay, got it.
And so they go back and the girl returns it, and she comes back and it's the next day, and they're like, okay, like I'm really nervous. He's like, oh, the people, they were so nice, like I just hope it like, he's like, I know it's
not true.
He's like, I know it's not them, like they probably have to follow whatever the big guys at the top tell them to do, because he's like, at the end of the day it's just money,
right?
And so,
which is a lot of why we have problems. Yeah.
And so he goes back, so it's not the same girl,
right?
He goes back and he like, was like, they even returned the broken one that was completely like, you can even tell in the box that like it's like all dusty and stuff. And he says that like the broken one was placed behind other ones in the store. I mean, he still bought it because he's like, to him it's like pennies, but so then they're like, oh, they're like sitting in the car and they're like, I'm so nervous, like I'm just really hoping like we're wrong. And they open it and he like breaks the actual like cardboard box, and his little marking is there, and it's the actual palette that he messed around with gloved hands. So this is just all to say that like, just be careful when you're buying makeup at these discount stores, because it may seem like a good deal. Yeah. But also, like I've heard many like retailers also say like never buy like skincare or any of that stuff at these discount stores because they could just be expired. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I've bought skincare products.
I have too. I still have some in my bathroom that I'm using actually.
We just don't know.
I mean, but yeah, like you have to, honestly, like as a consumer, like you are supposed to trust the company and the brand that you're buying from. And obviously, like if you're buying from TJ Maxx, like not necessarily that the quality is bad, but I mean, you have to think maybe your skin won't react if it's not the best of quality, because you have to think, well, this is a hand-me-down store, basically. Like, how did this brand get here then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I haven't had a bad reaction yet, so
I don't really buy makeup.
I don't really buy makeup from there. I buy my makeup from Walmart. But and I also have like other facial stuff that I use. But I did just buy. Not just buy, but I've had the retinol and the
like the serums.
Yeah.
Yeah, from TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I bought them too.
Yeah.
And I've never had, but like it all just makes me think like, is it really retinol?
Yeah, probably not.
So, and I think he has like a part 2 coming out regarding.
But also you have to think too, because a lot of those companies, not like, probably not all of them, but you have to think too, like the big brands, like they want you to buy from them, like from their store.
Well, that's another theory.
And it's all marked up.
Oh, but that's another theory. Hold on. That's another thing he covered in his video. So
there's so many conspiracies.
So we all know the brand YSL. They're a high-end makeup brand. And they have like this really popular lipstick in a shade red. I'd never heard of it until he said it. Lipstick, I think, goes for, I want to say, a range of like $50. That's usually like YSL and like Hourglass. Their lipsticks range up in the $60. I would never spend. The most I would spend, the one I'm thinking about right now, is $34.
I would never.
I know you wouldn't. But that's why they have me.
I would never. Like.
So wait.
My future husband out there, listen to me say this. I would never spend $50 on.
I will girl math my way into it.
On a lipstick. That is, I'm gonna use maybe 3 times.
Okay.
And it's gonna get lost somewhere. It's gonna fall down in the crack of your car. You're gonna forget about it.
It's gonna melt.
You live in Texas. It's gonna melt, and then you're not gonna be able to use it again.
Well, these are liquid lipsticks.
Okay, well then that's a different story. But you're gonna lose them in the bottom of your car.
Sure. No, not me.
You're gonna hold on to it. It's gonna be right here.
Exactly.
You're gonna wear it on it as a necklace.
It's gonna be in my keychain.
Hey,
So.
$34. Take care of that baby.
So anyways, the theory he had was like YSL has this like really popular like lipstick or I don't know what it is, a liquid lipstick. I think it ranges from like, I don't know, like 50, from the 50, 60, yes, stupid amount. And it's like a little bottle. So there's also like a dupe version by L'Oreal, if I'm not wrong. And it's like the exact same. So he asks Jeffrey, because he's like, because he was like, if it's a dupe, it's a dupe. He's like, it's fine. Yeah. But the issue is if it's the same company. And so Jeffrey was like, no, like YSL isn't owned, like they don't own L'Oreal or vice versa. He was like, I know YSL, whatever. So then this guy like goes in and does his little like research and, okay, I got scared. I think it's like loading. Yeah. He does his little research and come to find out L'Oreal does own YSL. So then he buys like the YSL one and he buys the L'Oreal one and does a shade test. And like they even look like the bottle, obviously like the YSL one probably comes in like a nicer, the L'Oreal one, you know, drugstore. Yeah. He does a shade match identical. Identical. And so like he showed Jeffrey and Jeffrey was like, yeah, they probably just have like left over and they just like take out like one ingredient that doesn't make it so luxurious and they just sell it and they just cover both their bases in the high-end market and on the, you know, budget-friendly market. And that is very true. Like I have done my research regarding like these big brands that like do own high-end, and like I think L'Oreal also owns Clinique.
I'm sure. Like, yeah, they've been around for a really long time, and like I'm sure CoverGirl owns a lot of the other.
Well, no, like they don't. Like they're all owned. Like there's like a chart somewhere. But L'Oreal owns like Lancome, YSL. They probably own Maybelline.
Yeah.
Like they own a group.
Yeah.
Like it's not just, I think Elf it's by itself, but I could be wrong. But it's just like mind blowing. Elf is really good. Mm-hmm. Has really good dupes. I like Elf. I know. But anyways, those have been our conspiracy theories.
Yeah. So, just FYI, if you're traveling to Denver or through Denver, just be aware of the Denver airport. Go look at the plaque?
Yeah.
On the south end?
Yeah, by the Westin Hotel.
Take a picture with it.
Yeah.
It'll be worth something someday.
Maybe like it said like the time capsule was there too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In 2094.
Yeah, so we still got like.
I'll be 120 or I'll be 102. I'll be 120 years old. Hey, you never know. By that time, where science we might.
Well, they do say that we're gonna live longer, like our life expectancy.
Yeah, expectancy. My grandma lived to 99.
Dang.
I think I could push it out to 102.
Yeah.
I'm not blood related to her, but I
think you could do it. Yeah. I'm be alive till that time capsule opens.
I think, yeah. And then, just be aware of the makeup that you're buying. Making sure you're getting a good deal. Do your research.
Yeah, and if you do buy at the discount stores, just make sure it doesn't look like it's been opened.
Yeah, and if it does, just return it, and they're going to put it right back on the market.
Yeah.
For someone else to buy.
Probably.
Or just throw it away. Like.
Yeah, if it cost you like maybe $3, $5.
Yeah, do someone else a favor and just throw it away.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't need to be happening.
But.
So, anyways, next week we'll probably cover alien encounters or spooky stories, like ghost paranormal stories. So, stay tuned.
Also, like we've been sneak peeking or mentioning these past couple episodes, we've been working on a special surprise that we'll probably announce.
I want to say like mid-November, beginning of December. I want to say November.
Yeah, I think like maybe before Thanksgiving we'll announce it.
Yeah. That's
our goal. So if you have any guesses of what it might be, let us know because it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think we got through a lot.
Yeah. We covered a lot.
I know. Well, when we don't see each other for 2 weeks, we got a lot of shit to talk about.
We do.
And we didn't even get a chance to catch up beforehand, really.
No, we didn't.
You just told me about your promotion, and then we jumped right in.
I know. We're like, okay.
All right.
Record.
Promotion? Cool. Let's go. We got shit to do. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Or I guess, you'll
listen to us.
You guys will see us or hear us wherever you get your podcast. But if you don't follow us already, my Instagram, or I guess we'll do personal Instagrams. My Instagram is at @ErinWaddell_Linder. And then, what's yours? Didn't you just change yours?
I did change mine. Because mine was Miss Luisa Diaz for like 10 years. And that just made me feel like an old lady. So, like when people be like, "What's your Instagram?" I'm like, "Okay, my name."
Was it MRS?
No, MS. But still, that made me feel like an old lady.
Okay.
So now it's Luisa. So it's L. I think it's like 3 U's, 3 I's.
We'll tag it.
We'll have to tag it because I don't know how many letters are in my handle.
And then our Basically Adulting
podcast,
or I was going to say Instagram, is at Basically Adulting Podcast.
Yes. Whoa.
Sorry.
And then our email, obviously, basicallyadulting247@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you have any spooky stories that you want us to share on next week's episode, email those to us and we'll share them because since we are kind of almost running out of spooky season. Yeah. We want to kind of get those in as well.
Yeah, and it could be anything paranormal. It could literally, conspiracy theory, literally anything.
Yeah, alien encounter, scary.
Paranormal, cryptids.
Whatever.
That too.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys or talk to you guys next week, and I hope you have a blessed week. And that's it.
Bye.
Bye.